grade. And I'm not one of the popular girls, like Linda Forcello. She irons her hair, you know. And instead, I'm sitting, you know, in the back of the classroom, and I go to lunch with these two girls whose clothes smell. And in addition to that, I'm just too tall, you know, like for a girl there. And like for lunch hour, we have to wait for the lunch bell to ring, and we have to line up in height order. And the first girl, the shortest one, Melanie, she was in charge of making sure that we stayed in the right height order, or she blew her whistle. So now, you know, I really hate the popular girls, and I want to be like them. And I really hate the popular boys, and I want them to like me, especially John. I've had a crush on him since first grade. So anyway, Melanie decides to have a party, like a graduation party, because we're going to be graduating from sixth grade to go to junior high. And so I go to the party, and there are people at the food table, and there's people swaying and dancing to Three Dog Night, Joy to the World. But I don't see the popular boys or girls. I don't know where they are. So, and then Melanie comes over, and she blows her whistle, and says, "Okay, everybody, listen up. I have to go referee a game outside on the deck. You stay here and behave." All right. So she goes out to the deck. I don't know, I follow her. And that's where all the popular boys and girls were, and they were hanging out, and they wanted to play a game called College. And Melanie was going to be the referee, and she's going to explain the rules. And so she says, well, okay, so there are 4 boys, and they are all college professors, and they're all lined up in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so each girl sits on the boy's lap and takes a class, which means she makes out with him for 2 minutes. And Melanie kept time. And then the boy tells her if she passed or failed. And you know, you usually like to pass, right, a class, right? But in this case, you want to fail, because that means the boy likes you, and he wants you to take the class over, and you got to make out again. So I don't know where I got it, but I got up the nerve, and I got in line, you know? And the first college professor was John, the guy, you know, that made my heart beep. But before I could even sit down, he looks at me and he says, pass. Then the next boy said, pass. And the third, pass. And the fourth said, pass. And they start laughing hysterically. And I'm crying. And I run down the driveway just to run away. And Melanie comes after me. You know, she comes over and she says, okay, so you wanted a boy to make out with you, and they didn't want to make out. And I was like, no, they didn't. That's right. You know. And she said, do you want me to get a boy for you to make out? And I was like, yeah. And she said, I'll be right back. So, you know, and it's getting dark now. And I don't know. I'm wondering who's she going to bring back, you know? And then I see David Otto. David Otto has special permission to leave school early on Wednesdays so that he can put leotards on and take his ballet class. So, oh well. So Melanie leaves, and he says, hi, and I said, hi. And then he says, do you want to make out? And I said, yeah. And he said, do you want to go behind the bushes? And I said, yeah. And so we go behind the bushes, and we start to make out. And he licks me all over my face. It was like he kind of got mixed, like he knew his French, something with French kissing had to do with the tongue, but I guess he like got confused in the instructions. So then we finish, we leave the bushes, and he says, see you at graduation. And I said, see you at graduation. So I still hate the popular girls, but now I don't want to be like them. And I've had my own first kiss. And P.S., I run into David Otto years later, and he's a member. He dances for the New York City Ballet. And so I said to him, hey, you want to make out? Thank you.